Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Gundam Lorecast, where we take a deep dive into the Mobile Suit Gundam series, such as the multiple timelines, mobile suits, characters, and so much more. Welcome back, pilots, to another episode of the Gundam Lorecast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and with me is always my good friend, Jesse.
How's it going, everybody?
And today we are bringing you another protagonist mobile suit. You might know it, you might not know it, because it's in a side story called, well, we'll get into it. We are diving into Gundam X, or also known as GX, which I've never heard it called GX before. I only have ever called it Gundam X, which is a limited production mobile suit built by the United Nations Earth in the titular mobile suit of After War Gundam X. Its pilot included Jamil Neat? I don't know.
Answer on this one.
Let's go with Neat. Just make it easy. And Gerard Ran, R-A-N, yeah, Ran. Another slightly different unit appeared in the manga sequel After War Gundam X Under the Moonlight and is piloted by Rick Aller. Interesting names, as usual.
These ones are at least, like, closer to normal, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But, meh. So, this Gundam is pretty cool. My mobile suit is in GB4 is based off the DX, which is a upgraded version of the X. So diving into this is pretty fun because I get to go over my favorite weapon of all time in this next to obviously Burning and Shiny Finger. There's always those. But my second favorite weapons this Gundam uses. So, with the technology and combat characteristics, we have the GX 9900, or Gundam X, was the Gundam-type mobile suit, a decisive battle weapon developed by United Nations Earth, equipped with the Flash system. Its greatest weapon was the satellite cannon, a beam cannon with enough power to destroy a space colony with a single shot, powered by Super Microwave SMW, launched from a solar power facility on the lunar surface. Hence my favorite weapon.
Yeah,
the satellite cannon.
Ridiculous.
And the DX is even better because it has double satellite cannons. Hence what the D stands for is double X.
Which is
great.
so unnecessary.
It is totally necessary. It's fantastic. So, powered by the SMW, was stored in the backpack in a series of energy conductors spread throughout the GX's body, and the backpack could also provide energy for the Gundam's other weapons, such as the beam sword and rifle. Because of this, when conducting combat without firing the satellite cannon, the Gundam X could continue fighting for up to a week without resupplying. That is impressive. It
And
doesn't
of
need to
course,
be
then they're like, you
resupplied
bring out
for
the
a
satellite
week.
cannon, and they're like, refill sooner, please.
Right. Satellite cannon, yeah, we need to be resupplied. No satellite cannon, yeah, you can use the mobile suit for a week straight and not have any issues with energy consumption and all that.
A long time.
So the Gundam X's other key feature was the flash system, which enhanced the thought waves of new types. This system was used to access the SMW facility and conduct the initial registration of the satellite system. It can also be used to control the unmanned mobile suits known as G-bits, and with the Gundam X capable of simultaneously controlling up to 12 FX 9900 GX bits, a type of satellite system equipped bit. Up to 12.
So many.
Because why not? And the GX bits are, it's a bit mobile suit. Oh, it's its own mobile suit? That you
Yeah,
can...
they're like the mobile dolls, kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That makes a little bit more sense there. And then with these bits, the Gundam X is able to employ a variety of team tactics and adapt to all types of combat situations. Overall, the Gundam X was a very versatile mobile suit with top-class combat ability in sea, land, air, and space. However, a key device was known as the G controller, which needed to operate the mobile suit. This device was served as an activation and control key for the Gundam, as well as the trigger for the satellite cannon. So there's a safety mechanism, because you don't want things to be stolen.
Yeah.
Having this on most mobile suits in the... I mean, honestly, most Gundams should have a key of some sort to use.
You would think.
Yeah.
But I feel like
most
it's
of
not
them
a common thing, because they
don't.
do seem to get stolen a decent
A
amount.
lot. Half the series of Gundams, the main protagonist is the one that steals a mobile suit.
That's true.
Actually,
a lot of main protagonists.
I would say more than half, about probably like 75% of them. That's the Armor Race.
The original Gundam.
The original Gundam. Zeta, not Zeta, but the Mark II in Zeta Gundam.
That one gets stolen. Yeah.
Double Zeta.
Stolen.
Gundam Seed.
Yeah. Kira steals the one in Seed. And there's 4 other ones stolen in Seed too.
Yeah.
Literally all of them are stolen.
Seed is literally just espionage as a whole. Trying to think. What else other ones? I can't think of any other ones on top of my head.
Unicorn.
Yep. Unicorn's another UC one. That's 5. So, I mean, there's a lot of stolen mobile suits. A lot of them are Gundams.
This keeps happening.
It does. So moving on to the armaments, we do have, obviously, the satellite cannon. So this is originally an ultra high output cannon developed as a colony destruction weapon. It was miniaturized for the use of mobile suits. When used, energy from the super microwave SMW launched from the solar panel facility on the lunar surface was concentrated in the reflectors and the GX's back before being fired by the cannon, causing a widespread destruction in an instant. It's said that the cannon could fire 2 to 3 shots after being fully charged by the SMW. In the past, there existed multiple SMW relay facilities on lunar orbit. However, by AW0015, they have been all destroyed or rendered inoperable, making the weapon only usable when the moon was visible. So, that's why
a little limited.
Yeah, a little bit limited, so it's not super overpowered. And it's also good to get energy from the moon, get the satellite system, recharge up your mobile suit. Just don't use the satellite cannon unless you absolutely need to.
Yeah.
So We have the Shield Buster Rifle, so the GX's main armament. The Shield Buster Rifle was a unique weapon that could switch between a rifle mode and a shield mode. To function as a shield, this weapon's toughness was 3 times that of other Mobile Suit's firearms. The Shield Buster Rifle could recharge using the energy from the satellite system by plugging it into the right bottom side of the backpack, which is pretty awesome. Then we have the large beam sword, not just a beam sword, a large beam sword. It's literally like a 2-handed, like, long sword.
Yeah.
Not like a one.
That's pretty awesome.
One-handed sword. So stored on the base of the satellite cannon, the large beam sword was the GX's main close-range weapon. Since it used energy from the SMW, its output was extremely high, capable of slicing a mobile suit in half. And the blade is so long, it's also green.
Yeah.
It's not even cool like ones. the purplish pink color. It's straight up green.
I like when the shows have different colors for the beam sabers. It makes me
happy.
I
love it too. It's great. We have the breast Vulcan, so 4 Vulcan guns built in the chest below the intakes, used for direct assault in the close quarters and restraining and intimidating enemies at medium range. It also has a shoulder Vulcan, a small optional 4-barrel Gatling gun type weapon for Earth-based combat. It is mounted on a hard point located on the upper left corner of the backpack and has a wide angle of fire due to the rotatable mount. So it has its own like minigun kind of a thing.
I do love those too.
It's great.
It reminds me of like. It's similar to, like, if you've watched the Marvel movies when War Machine gets his shoulder down.
Yeah.
It's literally that.
Yes. Oh, it's awesome. I love it. Fun fact, I used this in one of my builds for GB4 before the main. So I primarily used the same mobile suit, just upgrade it throughout the story of GB4 to what I have now. But I use parts of Gundam X, meaning the backpack, because aka satellite cannon for the whatever the special move you can do every so often.
With the gauge. What it's called. Yeah, I know what you're talking about when I remember what it's called.
Yeah. So use if you have that backpack, you can use the satellite cannon, which is awesome. But you do actually have the rotating Vulcan gun on your shoulder, which it's
I have a different Vulcan on my shoulder, so I use the one from the Jesta.
Oh, okay, yeah. So now we have the holster shield, based on the Shield Buster Rifle. This is essentially the shield separated and semi-fixed on the left arm. It is possible to store the Buster Shield rifle within the shield. It is equipped with the Rick Allers unit. Now we have the Ginian shield, which is a modified form of the holster shield that features an claw arm. Nifty. Okay.
Close range combat. I love the shields that have claws in them because it makes them have that extra usefulness to them.
It's good for melee, more useful for melee combat. I mean, you can use a shield in melee combat, but having a claw on it makes it even more useful. AKA probably, Ultron Gundam from Gundam Wing. But that's its entire arm is a claw, not just the shield.
Yeah.
We have the Buster Sheath Rifle. So based on the Shield Buster Rifle is essentially the rifle portion separated from the enlarged to function solely as a gun. It is equipped on Rick Allers' unit, and a beam sword is stored in the back of the rifle. We have the Buster Sheath Rifle Kai, which is an improvement of the Buster Sheath Rifle and features 2 barrels. It can fire 2 beams with different speeds simultaneously. Okay, that's cool. You can have a continuous beam and one beam that goes like in spurts if they wanted to. Which is that's actually pretty cool. And then we have the Hyper Bazooka, which is a weapon capable of firing torpedoes and a wide variety of other ammunition, because you have to have a bazooka.
Of course.
Bazookas are a must. Bazookas are a must.
Not always, too.
Not always, but usually you need a bazooka.
More often than not.
Mainly for warships, because that's what else would you use them for, because the accuracy is crap.
Yeah.
Unless you're a new type and know how to fire a weapon. So, and not waste ammo. Menage links in the for the Magnum. When he first uses the Magnum in Gundam Unicorn, he's just unloading the magazines with like barely hitting anything. And he only destroyed a unit just by like it being grazed.
Stray. Yeah.
So
the Magnum is ridiculous.
But with that said, let's take a quick mid break and thank our listeners, and we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Prime Video. In the small town of Holland, Michigan, nothing is ever what it seems. Behind the tulip festivals and pretty houses lay dark secrets that threaten to tear a marriage apart. Nicole Kidman stars in this darkly twisted thriller about a wife and mother whose quest to uncover her husband's secrets may get her more than she bargained for. Holland, streaming on Prime Video March 27th.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We're talking about everything on podcast has nothing to do with the lore of Gundam. Here, we want to thank all of our amazing listeners. Thank you all so much for listening to the show. And if you want to support the show, there's a few options you can do. You can go to patreon.com/GundamLoreCast, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also leave us ratings and reviews on Apple and Spotify. If you leave a 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment, we'll read it out loud the next time on the show, which we don't have any this week, but, that's all right. And then you can also find us on a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and a plethora of other shows that I host, which are Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So go check those out. All great stuff on Robots Radio. We have like 50 plus shows on the network. So we have so many shows. So if you can think of something, we probably have something for you. So go check that out. Links for those are in the description below. And then other than that, you can that's really it. Unless we have news, don't we? Yes, we do have news. Gundam G-Quix. Yes, that is how you pronounce it. Which Jesse will never let down.
I'm taking my victory lap. Okay.
Gotta take victories where you can. Is premiering on Amazon Prime on April 8th. G-Quix Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quix is premiering April 8th on Amazon Prime. So can't wait for that because it's Gundam. And once you see the designs move, if you're having some like weird thoughts of why it looks weird, wait till you see it move, then it starts to sink in. Because like once I saw it moving and when watching the beginning film, I was like, okay, I'm starting to like this. This is kind of making more sense, and especially in the continuity where G-Quix is in. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but you can find that stuff online yourself anyway. But it's in a unique continuity. That's for sure. Other than that, there's also you can pre-register still for the SD Gundam G Generations Eternal mobile game, which is super fun. I will say, because I did play test that and it was so much fun. And by pre-registering, you do get the Gundam Aerial, which is going to be like a beginner kind of a thing to be able to get like tasks and whatnot by playing the game. And for everybody who pre-registers, you do get the G-Quix as a unit to be used in the game. So If you want to have the G-Quicks right at launch, which is going to be probably a powerful mobile suit at the get-go, just like the Arrow, because the Arrow was a powerful mobile suit when I was playing the playtest. Not going to lie. Also the Alex. I had the Alex on my team, and that was also a pretty good mobile suit to have.
I love the Alex.
And then also the Gundam Seed, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. I can't remember what the game's called. It's going to be on PC and Switch, which is a weird systems to have a Gundam game. Not going to lie.
I was literally just
Mobile Suit
looking at
Gundam
this.
Seed. What's the game called?
I was literally just looking at this, and I don't remember.
I know, right? Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered.
Yep.
Comes out May 22nd. It is up for pre-order, and there's 100+ mobile suits that you can pilot in that game, and it'll take you across the different battlefields throughout the Gundam Seed's history and timeline and stuff, especially stuff that that's not just Seed Destiny, and Seed Freedom's not in it because this game came out way before Seed Freedom, but Seed and Seed Destiny. But it's also going to have all the Astray and MSV stuff, which is super exciting. That, they didn't localize in English. Like Gundam Seed Astray is not in English.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go pre-order that. But with that being said, let's get back into more of the Gundam X.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day, and that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Business taxes. Was stressing about all the time and all the money you spent on your taxes.
This is my bill?
Now Business Taxes is a TurboTax small business expert who does your taxes for you and offers year-round advice at no additional cost, so you can keep more money in your business. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on turbotax.com/business. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service.
All right, so now with the special equipment and features, obviously we have the satellite cannon, which I'm not going to really go over because we basically already went over the satellite cannon. It's a very destructive weapon that can destroy an entire colony with with one shot, and it can fire up to 3 times if possible. We do have the reflector unit. So this is equipped on the back of the Gundam X. The reflector unit consisted of 4 large panels, receiver devices that unfold into an X shape when the satellite cannon is activated. The panels have a honeycomb structure that store energy from the SMW for the cannon's use. They also release the energy directly, generating a repulsive force that can be used for propulsion. When utilized in this manner, the unfolded panels face backwards, resulting in a flight form known as hovering mode. It's possible to control the speed and posture of the mode by changing the angle of the panels, and the satellite cannon's barrel and high-speed, long-range jumps can also be performed. Hence where the X comes from in Gundam X. It's because of the panels form an X shape.
Yeah.
Duh. And then we have the flash system, which we also already went over. So go back on the earlier part of the episode where we talk about the flash system. Did we really go over the flash system? I'm actually double guessing myself. So
I think we really did.
Okay, well here's an overview of the flash system. So this is a combat system was deployed by both the United Nations Earth and Space Revolutionary Army during the 7th Space War. However, each faction used it in different ways. The Gundam series deployed by the United Nations Earth uses the system to control bit mobile suits, and the GX 9900 Gundam X is also used to access the registration of the authentication system at the Lunar Solar Power Station when activating the satellite system. The effective connection range of the flash system uncommonly large, as the Gundam X is able to link up with the lunar facility even when on the ground at a distance around 380,000 kilometers. In addition, the GB 9700 Gundam Belfargo, BELFH or PHAGOR. Bafaro has the system built into the control system and is used to control the machine's body and armaments instead of the bit MS. It achieved high performance that far surpasses that of a conventional mobile suit. The Space Revolutionary Army mainly used it for new type use mobile suit equipped with bit weapons such as the RMSN 008 Vertigo and the RMSN 002 for Brawl. Which, God, these mobile suit names are weird.
That Belphegor looks...
Belphegor.
Ridiculous.
What the heck is this thing? I'm like looking at it and I was like, what is this? It's like, what? It's like a heavy duty. What?
It's also the one that gets turned into Versago.
Oh, this becomes Versago. Okay. Interesting. First appeared in SD Gundam G Generation games.
I love that that happens.
Oh, that's great. I love it. All right, so now moving into the history of Gundam X. So it is developed by the United Nations Earth close to the end of the 7th Space War. The GX 9900 Gundam X, along with the other Gundam types, were used in the attempt to prevent the mass colony drop by the Space Revolutionary Army. Lo and behold, another colony drop. One of the Gundam X in this battle was piloted by a 15-year-old new type pilot, Jamil Neat, who used it and the FX 9900 GX bits to destroy one of the colonies moving towards Earth. Because, of course, there's a faction trying to wipe out all of humanity, because genocide's a thing.
All the time.
All the time in Gundam. So this, however, only triggers the colony drop. At the end of the battle, Jamil fought his rival Lancerow Dawell and his man 002 for Brawl. During the battle, Jamil's Gundam X lost his left arm and head, and Jamil also lost his new type abilities. This Gundam X was later salvaged by the new United Nations Earth with its parts and data used in the construction of the new GX 9901 DX Gundam XX.
Which looks like remarkably similar to Wing Gundam.
Yeah. Yeah. But 2 satellite cannons. It's great. So the NAW0015, an intact Gundam X, was discovered by Gerald Ran in the abandoned UNE facility while fleeing with new type girl Tifa Adele from a mysterious man named Rech Anto in his DT-6800C Dauntress Command, and 2 companies in a DT-6800A Dauntress and DT-6800W Dauntress. However, Gerard was unable to activate the Gundam due to the G controller being missing. Bum, 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 bum. And, like, the Dauntress are literally, like, it looks like the Gigans of this series.
Yeah.
So, remembering that he stole a control stick from Jamil Neat's cabin safe earlier, Gerard was able to activate the Gundam X and defeat Rech's team. This Gundam X was then became Gerard Rand's private machine and later upgraded by Kid Salsamil, chief mechanic on board the Frieden, into the GX 9900 DV Gundam X Divider after it was severely damaged by the Cyber type Carus Natalis and in his RMSN 008 Vertigo.
Which looks ridiculous.
The Vertigo?
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck, yeah. That looks like the Quattro, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like, more slimmed. That's interesting. But the the X Divider is also a very interesting mobile suit.
It also looks very similar to Wing. I think it has to do with the green chest, like, gem thing that they have on it.
Oh, yeah. And then after the 8th Space War, the Gundam X Divider was restored to its original form using parts gathered from various research facilities, as well as some newly created parts. The restored Gundam X, dubbed Unit 3, has its operating efficiency increased by 30% due to the more efficient generator. Using Unit 3, Gerard worked with Carus GNR 0008C Gundam Nouvelle to stop bandits from stealing the machine, known as recovering from a train. What is this Gundam Nouvelle? What in the world is this thing?
Quite the head to it.
That's like it looks like a freaking tall geese and Wing had a baby.
Yeah.
That literally is exactly what it looks like.
That head fin is tall.
Yeah, I mean, it's straight up the tall geese. I mean, the tall geese has.
I don't even think the tall geese gets that high.
Well, it's similar.
It gets high, but not that high.
Well, in AW0024, a different Gundam X painted in black was discovered in the Sea of Laurel inside a sunken Charest class that was resting on the ocean floor since the end of the 7th Space War by Vulture pilot Rick Aller and Rosa II. Much to their surprise, they discovered that the original pilot had been kept in a slate of suspended animation inside the Gundam's cockpit. The pilot, Kai, later abandoned the Gundam X due to circumstances that Rick took on for his own. After being damaged by Kai's GB 9700 Gundam Belfagor? Belfagor. There we go. This Gundam X was repainted closer to the standard Gundam color scheme by Mana. The satellite cannon, which Rick was unable to activate, became an optional weapon. Its shield buster rifle was modified into 2 weapons, the holster shield and the buster sheath rifle. So, yeah. That's the Kai version of the Gundam X. And then, last but not least, we do have some notes and trivia. So, despite being made 17 years after the original Mobile Suit Gundam, the Gundam X sports the ambient, possibly APU hum that is identical to those of the RX-78-2 Gundam when starting up. This makes it one of the few Gundams that have the noise when not in motion. And then, although a default unit in the PSP game Gundam Versus, Gundam Next Plus, Gundam X was removed in the sequel Gundam Extreme Versus. It returned as a DLC unit in Gundam Extreme Versus Full Boost, and once again as a default unit in Gundam Extreme Versus Maxi Boost, which Maxi Boost you can actually download on your PS5s or PS4s. Mm-hmm. It's just an arcade fighting game.
It's hard, but it's fun.
It's hard, fun, yes, and there's actual like arcade machines they have in Japan where you're like in a cockpit like style,
they're pretty
machine,
awesome.
which it's awesome. I got to play in one, back in OhioCon, like back in 2021 or no, back in 2020, or was it 2020? It might have been 2021. I don't know. One of the years I went to OhioCon, that's when I got to play in one of those, and it was so cool. It was so much fun. It was hard as hell, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost on, the Gundam X has a charge mode when it can summon 2 GX bits to attack its enemy. So you have backup. Gundam X combined with G Falcon first appeared in SD Gundam G Generation F video game. The combination never appeared in future sequels after FIF, which I have no idea what that is. Not gonna lie.
I'm not positive.
And according to comment by Kunio Okawara, Gundam X's large beam sword is based on Sasaki's Sasaki Kojiro sword, while the satellite cannon's barrel acts as a sheath. Oh, that's cool. That's
so,
nifty. You want to give some context on that?
Yeah, I'm going to. So he's like primarily known for one thing, which is who he lost to in the end and died, which was Miyamoto Musashi. But he was like a legendary swordsman in the late early 1600s.
Okay.
In Japan, and then he was killed off by Musashi. The other thing is he is in a lot of animes. If anyone has ever watched Record of Ragnarok, he's in it. He is one of the fighters on the sides of humanity in Record of Ragnarok.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
They know him as history's greatest loser. Because he never actually beats anybody. He always loses and keeps fighting the same person over and over to get better, and then moves on to the next stronger person before he beats that person.
Wow. All right. Well, I have nothing else on the Gundam X besides it's awesome and I use it in GB4 all the time. Specifically the satellite cannon with the backpack. But do you have anything else to add for the Gundam X?
I don't think I really do have anything else big on that. It is a cool suit. The whole concept of solar energy, or I guess lunar energy kind of, because it comes from the moon, is something that I feel like should probably be used more in Gundam, because these things burn a lot of energy, you would think. Presumably, you're burning a lot, even if it's like Minovsky particles or whatever it is from the other timelines. You would guess that they burn a lot of energy. And that's a lot of energy to use.
A suit that's able to sustain itself for a week straight without firing its like primarily ranged weapon that could destroy a colony and be able to, operate for a week straight without being resupplied. Yeah, no, that's pretty impressive. How most mobile suits should take like some notes from that, because constantly resupplying a mobile suit sucks.
Right, and I feel like
now, granted, I would say Gundam C, the freedom and the justice, doesn't have this issue.
Yeah, that is fair.
Because they run on nuclear energy.
But there are still a lot of suits that have issues.
About 99% of them.
Even early on in Seed, when they're talking about like, oh, we're running out of energy for the phase shift, so we need to bail before it runs out.
Which they do have, in Seed Destiny, there's a compromise where, hey, we shoot this beam into the forehead of the mobile suit and you get resupplied with the phase shift stuff.
Right.
But still, they're somewhat learning. But anyway, but yeah, that's all we have for this week. So everybody, thank you again for listening to the Gundam Lorecast. And remember, pilots, stay safe out there. Thank you for listening to the Gundam Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share how you got into the Gundam series, and you can even find us on Twitter at Gundam Lorecast, and even email us at gundamlorecast@outlook.com.